It's good memories. Good memories.
Okay. Top 3 boxers that influenced you the most.
Oh, right away, the first one that comes to my mind. I've always liked Pernod Whitaker. I always liked his style. Pernod Whitaker was always somebody who I was in camp with. Got to meet him. Got to meet his coach, and I always admired because in boxing, I always tell the kids if boxing had rules, it would be hit and don't get hit, and he was a genius when it came to that. He was able. I also liked Julio Cesar Chavez. I like his aggression. And then the other fighter that I liked was Mike Tyson.
Tyson.
Yeah. Well, man, I loved his being. You could tell he was expressing himself every time he was fighting. You know, you could tell he was in that mentality. You know and that's what I liked about him. His mentality and his approach to the game. It's nice.
Did you pick up anything from? I mean, like, did you use sort of like their moves in your own style, or?
You know, when the only time, you know, when you ask that, the only thing that comes to mind was I think it was again it was I think in Georgia. It was a national tournament of power, and I fought a guy that was about 6'4", 6'5". I was fighting 140, and I'm kind of small for 140 at the time. So I remember thinking, I gotta fight this guy like Tyson. And in my mind, what that meant was that I have to get close to this guy and just hit him as hard as I can. And I remember that was the one fight where I try to take that mentality. I mean, you're I'm 5'7" on a good day, and I'm fighting a guy that's, almost 6'5", so you have to build yourself up to that. You're sitting, this guy from, I forget where he was from, a big old tall black guy, You're sitting across, you go to the middle of the ring, you shake hands with this guy, you're eye level with his chest, it's kind of, you have to take that warrior mentality.
I guess an experienced fighter is going to read that fear if you start showing it, no?
Yes. And I was always more intimidated by the guys that said nothing. The guys that didn't even look at you. Yeah. That they just warmed up on their own. They kind of just, the guys that were across the ring staring at you and, flexing and passing, those guys. I never worried about those guys, but, the guys that you saw just warming up, doing their thing in there, those are the ones that were like, oh shit, we're fighting somebody experienced today,
What did it say that saying, still waters run deep?
Yeah. So that was my one of the times that I took that mentality in there.
Do you still keep a boxing journal or like a coaching journal? You still doing that?
It's funny because I write a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I write a lot. I used to write a lot. I made the mistake of writing online a lot. I made the mistake of expressing myself online a lot. But yeah, now I write. I like music. I like playing guitar. I like jamming out with my kids and stuff. So we like writing. We like writing music, and we like writing stories and stuff like that. So
but it does help, like to have a journal, right?
Yeah. I've always been real big with that. I've always, my kids I've given them plenty of books to write and express themselves. We also do. We paint a lot. We like painting. We have a lot of paintings, and we like doing that. So.
But that's awesome, because that's one of the things too. I do a lot. It's just that I don't just stick with one thing like music. I like those artists, the Renaissance artists, where they did everything. They just didn't paint. They were musicians. They were inventors.
Yeah,
things like that. It's like you don't get stuck in just on one, belief. This is who I am. I hear a lot of musicians say, I'm a musician, and that's who I am. That's my life, Okay, but what if, if you're a guitar player, what if you cut your fingers off and you can't play guitar? What if your vocal cords, you lose them, Then who are you? You're much more than a musician, man. You just don't know it.
Yeah, it's fun. I mean, that's I've always enjoyed learning new things. Like I said, I'll come from the office and I come home, I think my brother's helping. I'm learning how to, change a water pump. I cut my own grass. I like building stuff. I like all that stuff. Something new is always good for the mind and the soul.
You're always growing, man, right?
Yeah, you have to give yourself something new, to keep you going.
Cool, man. We're gonna end it here. We're gonna cut this segment, and then we're gonna go to the third segment. All right, man.
All right,
let's go.
Good. I've had interviews, you know, and it's kind of, you're the first person that interviews me that I know. You know, it's always been kind of like a reporter or something that you don't know. You know, this setting is a lot more comfortable for me.
Good.
It's much more comfortable for me than this other stuff.
That's the kind of the style we want to go for, like a little conversation.
It's good. It's good. No, it's a good approach, man.
Because man, the best talks I think you experience is when you're with friends or you're just conversating. You know, it's like you're just kicking back, and you know, it's not. You're not putting in performances.
Exactly. Yeah. You're not acting, and you're not worried about, you know, how you say and what you do and all that stuff. You know, it's, you know, like I've had interviews where they just ask me some questions, and you know, hearing when you get asked a question, if you're hearing it from a stranger or you're hearing it from somebody that you're familiar with, it's a big difference in my opinion.
Yeah.
You know, when you hear a question from somebody that you've known compared to somebody that's just a reporter, it's different.
What's the hardest questions you've ever been asked, like outside?
It's not that they're like hard questions, because I've always been pretty outspoken and I've never shied away from any question. I've never, you know, but it's just that you have to be comfortable with the person that's asking you. You have to get to that level. When you're not going to get that when a reporter walks into your gym and got the lights on you, and you got, you know, they're setting all this stuff, you know, it's the cameras there, and you know, that it's not comfortable for me.
No.
You know,
you don't got that other character, you know, like have you seen that movie Over the Top, where so it's just an
he turns, yeah, he does, yeah, no, I don't have that one. You know, I've always been really shitty about faking it. You know, I've had to do it at work. You know, I always tell the guys, you don't gotta fake it till you make it. You know, but at work, I've always had a difficult time with how they say it, being professional. I don't like being professional. You know, I just want to be myself. I just want to go in there and I want to do my job. And I've been there 20 something years, you know, and I guess the fact that I've been there such a long time means I'm doing something right. You know, it's kind of, you know, and I've run it that way, you know, and I'm the general manager there. So I have about 30 employees under me. You know, my boss is the owner of the cemetery. That's who I answer to, you know, and being able to transition from an athlete who didn't have AP classes, you know, in middle school or high school, didn't have the you know, the GT. I think back then it was called GT, gifted and talented, or GT classes, you know.
GT classes.
Yeah, you know, being able to go from that to running a business, you know, and growing from 3 employees to 30 plus, it's always a thing that I've had on my chest, you know. I'm real proud of that, developing a company like that, you know, because it was a real small company, and now we've grown so big.
My last guest said something similar. He said now what you're seeing is that the guys that don't have their degree, they hire the ones that have the degree to run.
Yeah. I mean, because there's one thing that's missing with degrees. Not just because you get a degree means that you've worked hard for it, or that you've become more driven and stuff. You know, if you're driven, to me, that oversees everything else. I mean, I don't give a crap what kind of degree you have.
Yeah.
Because if you're driven and you like something, you give it time, you'll be good at it. It's easy formula.
Yeah.
If you ask me, I mean, and that's just been the way I like to think, you know, and the way I want my kids to think.
El que le echa más ganas.
Ponle, le tienes que poner. I mean, no matter what happened, I mean, you just gotta. And it, to me, I'm in a position where, like I tell everybody, it's hard for me to have a bad day. I can't stand people that feel sorry for themselves, or because I work at a cemetery. We bury kids that are 3 months old in a 10-inch casket to 90-year-olds, to people my age. You know, and we get to sit at a table like this, and we tell them, okay, your loved one died, now give me some money.
Yeah.
Give me money because your loved one died. Yeah, I know you don't have insurance, but we need money. You know, so fundraisers, you know, all this stuff, you start seeing all that. So it's hard for me to have a bad day because of the industry that I work in.
Right.
You know, you can't tell me that, I got a flat tire, I don't have this. No, you don't have that right, sorry.
What do they say? There's always someone worse off than you, so.
Yeah, I mean, there's always, and it's almost like I kind of skipped all the little stuff and I went right to death. I've cremated, like I was telling you, I've cremated over 1,000 bodies. I've helped prepare bodies. I've taken bodies out of the ground, and I've done all that. I've been around all that